All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say it's a tad bit gloomy outside, a little bit of rain, a little bit of rain and stuff going on outside, but it's good to see everyone. Yo, well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do my intro when you guys can see my face. Yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Sakamoto Days. Today, we are going to be reading through volume 14 of the series titled Bizarre Data. Now, I have gone past where Viz categorizes each chapter per volume because volume 14 is not out yet. Volume 13 is the latest one, but volume 14 and the rest of them, I have to literally look up the volumes themselves and then see the numbers of the chapters and then correlate that for the next reading. But now I've entered into the state where I'm getting closer and closer to catching up, because if I pull this up here, the chapters we're going to be going through in volume 14 will be chapters 116 all the way down to 124. So I'm making good time with this because the chapters have reached all the way up to 182. And if I keep with my present course, it won't be too long until I actually fully catch up with the series. Just a bit of a recap of what happened in the last volume. We get a backstory of Rion, Nagumo, and Sakamoto when they were younger, back during their days at the academy, and they're seen as delinquents because they're always constantly causing trouble. So, they get put on an assignment that is specifically made to get rid of troublemakers, per se, where the proctor, or the person that they're assigned to assassinate for this assignment, is an individual who might as well be the Flash, because he's just that fast. And the whole purpose was for them to die. But with their teamwork, Medela, what's going on? With their teamwork, they're not only able to bring this dude down, but they also get put on another assignment and invited to join the Order, which was, a brand new group that this guy was in charge of at the time. Well, him and Mr. Yotsumura at the time as well. So they get in charge of doing an assignment for the Order, which is to escort this one random VIP to an airport for them to get out of the country. Turns out, this VIP is not a big, overly rotund fat man, but it's actually a mother and child disguised as one, because it turns out that these two individuals are the wife and daughter of the chairman of the JAA, which is a secret mission that no one should know about, because apparently there are people trying to undermine and usurp the chairman. And one of these individuals just happens to be an individual who gets threatened by Yotsumura during their talks about it, because this person by the name of Asaki is looking to try and get rid of the daughter or hold them as hostage so that the chairman can either step down or they can do whatever they want with the JAA. And Asaki is also the elder brother of Uzuki, who is apparently been tasked with trying to take out I forget his name, something, I forget his name, the Speed of Sound Sonic guy, the Flash assassin guy. He's saying, well, if I can't bring down or take out the wife and daughter, because he doesn't want to hurt them, but he's willing to go as far as killing the guy in charge of the Order in order for this plan to go through. So a lot of this is going down. People who serve Asaki and work with Asaki with this whole insurrection that's going on right now, they've been steadily chasing Sakamoto and company. So now, with chapter 116, Friends, we have Sakamoto, who's up against that one dude who believes in, virtue points. And him and Sakamoto are about to face off right now. Because in the last chapter, it showed Sakamoto just delivering an incredibly powerful punch to the back of this dude's head. So now Sakamoto and this guy are about to face off. So let's begin with days 116, Friends. And we get the guy going, "Hey, you. How many virtue points have you saved up? Tell me." "Why do you save up points for good deeds?" "Ha! You wanna know? Koba never asked me about that. Before I started saving up for points for good deeds, I was a third-rate assassin. And he immediately launches at Sakamoto with those big gauntlets he was using. You know, the same ones he can use as a little bit of like a jump pack, or one that can shoot out, actual concussive artillery as well. But one day, I did something good, just on a whim. Or maybe it was a message from the gods. 5 years earlier, garbage on the ground, into the trash. And he just simply throws a piece of trash in the garbage bin. Yo, hybrid! Kindaka. Thank you. I forgot his name. I know it was Kin something. But yeah, that was the Kindaka is the Flash guy I was talking about. But he just simply throws some trash away and he goes, "On our mission the next day, everyone died. I was the lone survivor. That's when I realized that if you build up good karma, the gods of killing will help you. Ever since, I've done lots of good things. I've built up good karma by ridding this world of useless trash." How can you tell who's useless trash? You figure it out by killing them. If they're super easy to kill, they must have pretty weak karma. That makes them trash. So, the fact that you haven't managed to kill any of us means we're not trash. Yeah, but there's also a chance that you just happened to survive, so it's important to try over and over again just in case. Man, you're stupid. I'm starting to get annoyed. And I'm thinking, no, this guy is stupid. I don't know if these guys are trash until I kill them, but the fact that you keep surviving is just throwing me off of my game. I'm sorry. I don't understand what he's talking about. Does that make me stupid? And then we cut back to Rion along with Ai and her daughter.
Is that boy okay? The one we left behind? Oh, I'm sure he's fine. But you're friends! Aren't you worried? Friends? Me and Sakamoto?
And remember, this is Rion, she's driving. And then we cut to Nagamo. You and Sakamoto were buddies before I even joined the assassin department, Akao.
Yeah, well, there were a bunch of us who were friends back then.
And I think Nagamo's eating on some Pocky.
But after a while, the rest kind of faded away and just the two of us were left.
They're too strong.
I don't get them.
They're kind of scary. Wow, so they had a bunch of friends, but because Sakamoto and Rion are just monsters in terms of skills and overall capabilities, everyone just kind of distanced themselves because they, frankly, could not keep up.
There aren't many people you can get along with at JCC. It's boring.
Totally. And then the daughter, whose name escapes me at the moment, apologies, goes,
"So the three of you have always been best friends."
And that's when it kind of causes both Nagamo and Rion to kind of just stutter just a little bit.
I'm not so sure about that.
No need to be bashful. Are you embarrassed?
Sometimes I want to kill you, so I don't consider us friends. Don't touch me.
And then it cuts to Nagamo, who's just, he gets punched in the face by Rion, but he just brushes it off. And then we have Uzuki, who's not saying anything. Then Kindaka goes, "What's wrong, Uzuki? You've been gloomy ever since we left the rest area."
I'm fine,"
he says with a slight bead of sweat down his face. Then, since they're currently driving in an underground passage, an underground tunnel right now, and all of a sudden a crack appears in the roof, and then the roof of the tunnel starts to collapse, causing them to stop because the rubble falls in front of them in the road. And then we get Koba, same dude that was driving Higuchi, whose name has resurfaced in my mind because it says so here in this panel, so thank you, manga. But Koba's up top and he goes,
"There are more of them than I expected. Higuchi isn't doing his job."
"Oh, it's a guy who uses poison."
"Does he think he can beat us alone?"
"It could be a trap. Be careful."
And then it cuts to Nagumo and Rion, who immediately blitz Koba. And Rion slashes him in the neck a little bit. I think either in the neck or in the shoulder. And he tries to brace himself, but we see blood drawn.
Missed him.
She's deadly fast, but this is convenient.
And then all of a sudden it shows Rion as she suddenly starts bleeding from the mouth. She suddenly starts bleeding immediately from the mouth.
What is this? Poison? But he never even touched me.
And Nagumo, he's bleeding as well from his mouth, even though they've never been touched.
Poison gas. Very perceptive. I can produce my own proprietary poison gas blend inside my body. Scentless, colorless, and instantly lethal. Also, poisons and enclosed spaces go together so well, which is to say, they're a deadly combination.
And then Ai goes,
Is everyone okay?
and then Uzuki goes,
Don't move.
Konomi, her mom, and Uzuki are all fine, so the poison works differently on different people.
it requires certain conditions to activate.
What could it be? Distance to enemy? To the enemy? Heart rate? Body size? If we don't do something.
And then Koba just goes,
Once the poison gets you, you won't last 10 minutes. A few minutes for some. It's not messy, it's low risk, and once administered, it's guaranteed to kill. Poison is the ultimate killing method.
Then we cut back to Higuchi versus Sakamoto.
They must all be wiped out by now. They aren't that weak. That's why, the tougher the enemy, the more lethal Koba is. He's especially effective against types like that girl. I bet she'll be the first to go.
And then Sakamoto doesn't say anything.
Koba's poison is extremely painful, like having your guts gouged out. A lot of people commit suicide. In no time, your friend will.
And before Higuchi can say anything, Sakamoto is already on him, and he hits Higuchi so hard he shatters his gauntlets. He doesn't even hit Higuchi's gauntlets. He just hits Higuchi in the chest. And the shock from that destroys his gauntlets.
Like having your guts gouged out. A lot of people commit suicide. In no time, your friend will.
Boom!
Then maybe I should hurry a bit.
And sends Higuchi flying to the other side of the bridge.
What happened? An explosion? I'm alive? That was just one blow. All of a sudden, his vibe changed. What on earth? He's strong. I'm 100% dead. Karma, I don't have enough good deeds. I need to save up more. Cleaning, I need every little bit of good karma I can get.
And it shows. And Higuchi thinks that by trying to clean up the bridge right now, he thinks by cleaning up the bridge, he's going to get enough good karma that will allow him to survive against Sakamoto. And then we have a couple who are driving on the bridge, who for some odd reason wait until they get near the end of the bridge to realize, the bridge is gone! We're gonna fall! And Sakamoto notices this. And while he goes, Higuchi notices and goes,
Uh-oh. You want to save them? I won't let you. I won't let you rack up more good karma. Let go.
no fair!
There's not enough time.
And Sakamoto looks over, there's not enough time. And he looks over and he sees a car and he sees some fishing lines and he grabs them. He grabs a car with fishing poles. He grabs it with fishing poles and latches onto the hood. And with all of his strength, he yanks the entire car over to the other side of the bridge, causing said car to land directly on Higuchi.
Gah! If only I had more good karma.
And the couple that was driving in the car, they're still airborne, and Sakamoto just immediately catches them, as if it's nothing at all. He just pulled a car. He just yanked a whole car with fishing poles, and then just casually catches the couple in his hands. Thank you for saving us. My friend's in trouble. Can I get a ride? Sure. And that's the end of Days 116. Onwards to Chapter 117. Days 117, Kill Without Moving.
This poison gas kills in under 10 minutes. For some, it only takes under a minute. And I have the only antidote.
So we're back with Koba, as he's already poisoned Nagumo and Rion.
How come it's working on us faster?
There must be a rule to this poison. And Koba takes out an AR.
Even if you figure it out, it won't help you.
And he immediately opens fire on Nagumo and Rion, and they move, and all of a sudden, the poison goes through their system again. Moving causes the poison to move through their bloodstream.
Hey, lady!
And Rion is coughing up blood. Ako! And this is Uzuki. And then we cut to Kindaka. Ako, Nagumo, we have to hurry.
It's hitting me too.
You're supposed to capture the wife and child alive, right?
That's not a problem. Hostages don't always have to be alive, as long as the Rube thinks they're alive. You can all die here for all I care.
And Rion hears this. And then we have Nagumo thinking, this poison, we all inhaled it at the same time. How come it's hitting me and Akao hard and not Uzuki or Konomi and her mom? Sure, we're fighting, but we didn't take any hits. Kendaka was farther away, so it isn't a distance thing. It can't be weight, gender, or clothing either. Physical fitness? That can't be it. We should be more poison resistant than the average person. In which case... And then Nagumo looks at some rats, and he notices some rats run past him, and then all of a sudden, he sees two ahead start twitching, and they start dying, but the two behind them suddenly suddenly are just fine. They stopped running, and they're not moving ahead. And the ones that are just sitting still, they're perfectly fine. Could it be?
Kindaka, I'm taking him out. Back me up.
Who do you think you are?
Nobody move! And Nagumo grabs Akao.
Why?
It seems that the more active you are, the faster the poison works. And this immediately catches Koba's attention, which means that Nagumo struck the nail right on the head. And then they stop moving. And then Kindaka notices.
He's right.
It's not as bad when I stay still.
The faster you move, the quicker the poison spreads in your system, huh? In that case, if we don't want to die, we'll have to kill him without moving. Maybe. They figured it out. Darn it. If they had kept moving, they'd have been dead in under a minute. They're totally 100 times smarter than Hikuchi.
And Koba just starts opening fire on them again.
Hey, if that's the case, we have no chance in a war of attrition.
And then Uzuki goes,
Right now, I could kill Kindaka.
if you screw up, I'll kill one person at Alkamar Orphanage. Because that's the stipulation. That's his current stipulation that Uzuki has to follow through on. Otherwise, his brother's gonna kill one of his friends at that orphanage. You know, like Gaku, or Club Jam, or Carolina Reaper, or Kashima.
Do I kill him now? What happens after that? But it's now or never.
And while his heart keeps racing more and more, he unwittingly allows the poison to course through his system because his heart is pumping due to his indecisiveness and nervousness.
You okay, mister?
Poison?
But you didn't move, Uzuki. How come?
No way.
And then it cuts to Uzuki, who pops up right behind Ai and Konomi and chops them directly in the back of their necks.
Huh?
Uzuki, what the heck are you?
Shh!
Being physically active depends on the movement of muscles. In other words, your heart rate can also accelerate the poison. People's heart beats slower when they're asleep. Yeah, your whole body just moves. Yo, Snow, what's going on? Your whole body, when you're sleeping, it moves slower. Like your heart rate slows down. Anything that would normally operate while you're conscious all moves slower while you're sleeping. Even your ability to perceive time slows down, which is why you can go to sleep, and if you have like good rest, it feels like, wow, that sleep didn't take long at all. Because your body is perceiving time completely differently. The whole human body, how it operates when you're conscious and when you're unconscious is quite interesting when you think about it. But Snow, I hope your day has been well. We are on chapter 117 of Sakamoto Days. We're going all the way to 124, and that'll be it for volume 14.
In other words, your heart rate can also accelerate the poison. So no face moving and no panicking, huh?
Let's just blast him away.
Don't get mad either, Akao. And Koba continues to fire on the car.
Like I said, figuring it out won't get you anywhere.
At this rate, we'll just slowly die.
Hey, Kindaka, don't you have some weapon we can use to kill him without moving?
Yeah, right.
And then Akao looks, and she sees a couple of grenades. I'm here for it. Nice. She sees a couple of grenades and a whole wheelchair. Akao, don't tell me.
Yeah, I know it's stupid. But you know what that idiot would do in this situation.
Good point. And then Koba looks as he sees Akao in the wheelchair just moving forward. This is a way that she can move without exerting herself or speeding up the flow of the poison. Just, momentum from a free-wheeled contraption. And then Nagumo takes one of the grenades and tosses it behind Rion, who is using a car door as a shield, and the blast from the grenade allows her to go sailing around in a loop-de-loop around the tunnel straight towards Koba. And then Rion is right above Koba.
They used a wheelchair and a grenade for propulsion.
And Rion drops right down on Koba. And he uses his gun to, shield himself.
You can't muster much power behind an attack with so little speed. Nice try.
And then all of a sudden, Rion gets hit directly. Well, not Rion, but Koba gets hit directly in his midsection all of a sudden. Because it turns out that Rion had a gun along with the knife, and she immediately, she shot him directly in the chest.
She kept her body relaxed and only used the recoil from the gun. That worked.
Oh, so she didn't shoot him. She used the recoil from the gun to make the knife go into Koba without her actually having to move at all. That's scary. Just had the gun on the back of the knife and shot it so that it would, with the recoil, jab directly into his chest. And then that is such a unique way to attack without exerting yourself. Just the slightest movement of your finger and that's doing the job. She then just keeps firing the gun behind her, causing, in rapid succession, allowing her to, jab straight towards Koba repeatedly.
Correct, Akao. In close combat, a knife is better than a gun. She threw it.
And Rion throws the knife at Koba. Koba blocks it with his AR. And then she aims at Koba. And then proceeds then proceeds to shoot the knife and have it sailing straight towards Koba, cutting him directly in the shoulder.
Uh-oh.
It's over.
And then she goes to aim at Koba's face, but, it ran out of bullets.
Out of bullets.
And then Nagumo proceeds to fire at Koba, and he jumps away.
Nice try. I've never seen anyone resist my poison for so long. But you still have only minutes to live. How do you feel? Do you want to try at a suicide attack before the poison finishes you off?
And then Rion just takes out a cigarette.
What's this? In a situation like this, her pulse isn't racing?
And Rion is just casually smoking. She's just casually smoking. Her heart rate is normal.
Took you long enough, moron.
And then a hand just comes up from underground and drags Koba under. And it's Sakamoto. Oh! Sakamoto just puts his hand through solid concrete. Just puts his hand through solid concrete, grabs onto Koba, and drags him underground. And then proceeds to just slam him under.
Where did he come from?
Yo, is the air bad in here?
Yeah, poison gas.
And the sign inside of this, it's a tunnel for emergency evacuation. Tunnel emergency evacuation, or emergency evacuation tunnel. But now Sakamoto's down there, and he has Koba, while Rion and everyone else is above ground. And that's the end of chapter 118. This man Sakamoto scares me. This is Sakamoto when he was young. I could not fathom the idea of punching my hand through solid concrete and then dragging a whole person under. Mind you, Sakamoto, from doing that, creates a giant hole in the tunnel. It's not just a small hole where he can just drag it in Koba and it's fine, and it's just a small hole. No, he literally just brings down a big section of the road in this tunnel just by dragging Koba under. That's the end of chapter 117. Onwards to the next one. I gotta know what happens next. Days 118. Strength. And we just have a hole where Koba used to be, and Sakamoto with Koba. Hey, Akao.
Yeah?
This kid beat Higuchi?
This guy doesn't look tough at all. Why are you guys all beat up?
His poison is a pain. It's more effective the more you move, and the faster you move, the faster you'll die.
I don't get it. And then Koba takes out a knife and tries to throw it at Sakamoto, and Sakamoto is immediately affected by the poison, and he starts bleeding from the mouth.
You're wasting your energy. As soon as you entered the tunnel, the poison infected you too. The faster you run around, the more it plays into my strength.
There's no time to just sit around figuring things out. The poison's already got Akao good. And this is Nagumo thinking this, as he's right behind Akao.
Assassins are so fragile when you take away their speed. You're already done for.
And then Sakamoto just does his trademark shoulder crap and goes, all I have to do is kill you slowly. And this is a shock to Kindaka, Rion, and Nagumo. Well, not really Nagumo. Nagumo is not included in the panel that has like the surprise question mark there. He's just smiling, knowing like, yep, this is Sakamoto.
Who do you think you are?
And then it shows Sakamoto, who just allows himself to get stabbed in the chest. Who allows himself to get stabbed in the chest by Koba.
Hey, what?
And Uzuki sees this, but Sakamoto gets a solid grip on Koba's neck, and he just stands there, holding Koba by the neck. And Koba just continues to slash at Sakamoto while he's at point blank range, and Sakamoto is not moving. He's not moving at all! And Koba realizes that,
what's with this guy?
And Sakamoto his expression has not changed. He's just holding Koba by the throat.
He's not budging.
And then Koba realizes, oh, Sakamoto's grip is getting tighter and tighter around my throat. And Sakamoto just proceeds to just choke the life out of Koba. You see the grip strength that Sakamoto has on Koba. You can see his thumb on the other side of Koba's neck. It's like, what do I got that's thin? It's like, okay, so you can see my hand here, right? He has such a solid grip on Koba's throat, his fingers are almost touching each other around his neck. That's how tight of a grip he has on Koba. And Sakamoto's just staring at him. Kill me quickly. And both Kendaka, Rion, and Naguma are shocked to see Sakamoto just easily kill this guy just by choking him to death. And Koba just falls. He's done. It's over. Hurry up and stop the bleeding, you idiot! You'll bleed to death before the poison gets you! Found the antidote! And then it cuts to everyone back up in the tunnel, and they're all looking after Ai, who got knocked out by Uzuki.
Does it hurt, Mama?
And Kendaka is he's giving her the antidote.
Quick, Mr. Kendaka! You need the antidote too!
Me and Uzuki can go last. We didn't move much.
And then Nagumo's on the phone. Oh, found them!
What?
They're on the JAA bounty site. The bounties on Higuchi and Kobayashi are 400 million or 400 million and 600 million.
That's a lot. So I guess you're worth $1 billion.
I'm not getting myself listed on a bounty site. Oh, the irony of this statement. Huh.
Nagumo, next. Antidote.
Coming. And then Rion and Sakamoto.
During the fight.
Huh?
That was pretty crazy, what you did. Aren't you afraid of dying?
Sakamoto doesn't say anything, and then he goes,
I didn't know how much time you guys had. How much time you guys had. I was just thinking about the fastest way to kill him without moving.
In other words, you're afraid of us dying.
Huh?
So, you're the type of person who prioritizes others over himself. I didn't know that. I hope you can keep finding more people to care about.
How come?
It makes us better fighters. That is, for types like you and me.
And she offers Sakamoto a smoke.
Oh, so how do you do that?
How should I know?
And then Uzuki chimes in.
What if you had to weigh the people you care about against other people's lives? What would you do?
I'd kill whoever I had to, without hesitation, to protect Akira, even if it meant killing my own heart.
This is bad! There may not be enough antidote for me and Uzuki! Maybe the poison guy has more. I'll go look.
And Uzuki gets up.
No, you're still poisoned! No moving around!
I'm fine.
Well, don't run then, okay?
Got it.
And it cuts to Uzuki walking over to the body of Koba.
Oh, good. There's more.
And he found an antidote. He found an antidote with Koba. So Koba had more than one. And then he gets on the phone. Gotcha.
Asaki, what do you want? No, it's me. You okay? This butthead's making you do something you don't like, huh?
And this is Gaku, who apparently has been getting beaten up.
Gaku!
Butthead, that's not very nice. You really have no manners.
Drop dead.
Yay, 2 points. And because this is Gaku spitting out some blood, and I guess it landed in the waste bin somewhere. Oh, no, yay, 2 points because he spits it in Asaki's face, which angers him because we get like a smash sound effect on the other end of the phone.
Gaku,
Don't provoke him!
I know, UK. You're waffling, wasting time.
I'll...
It's a big brother's job to motivate his dopey little brother. Call me when you've killed Kendaka. Don't disappoint me more than you already have. And he immediately hangs up on Uzuki. And Uzuki's just standing there. And then Uzuki is just thinking,
Kendaka isn't a bad guy. That's obvious from this mission. But if I don't kill him, my friends at the orphanage...
And then he thinks of Rion's words.
I'd kill whoever I had to without hesitation to protect Akira. Killing yourself. I want to be strong too.
And Uzuki drops the antidote. He drops the antidote, which gets caught by Kendaka. Kendaka just appears out of nowhere and catches the antidote before it hits the ground. And mind you, it's really like a half inch, like maybe a centimeter from hitting the ground, and he immediately zooms in and catches it, shocking Uzuki.
Kendaka? Uh-oh, he's on to me.
I'm dead. And before Uzuki can do anything, Kendaka runs up to Uzuki and drops the antidote into his hand. Drops the antidote into Uzuki's hand, and Kendaka dies from the poison right then. Yo, he moved at that speed, which caused the poison to course through his body even faster. And he just died right then and there. So Uzuki didn't... I was thinking that there was going to be a moment where Uzuki would actually have to kill Kendaka, but Kendaka literally put his own life on the line to save Uzuki. And as he's standing there, after seeing Kendaka use his speed and die from the poison, he's standing there in a cold sweat. And across from him, through the hole that she can see him through, is Rion, and she sees Uzuki. Now the question is, did she see Kendaka go in and save him? Or does she only see Uzuki standing over Kendaka's dead body? And that's the to be continued part. Okay! That's the end of chapter 118. Onwards to days 119. Goodbye. And Uzuki is standing there, right next to Kendaka, who's dead. He chose to die to protect me. And he's just thinking about how Kendaka just gave his life to save him and gave him the antidote. And then Rion is directly behind Uzuki. And then she goes,
Uzuki, you dropped that on purpose.
And then Uzuki swings around and there's like this whip. He has a whip and he slashes it at Rion. And she immediately dodges out of the way. And Uzuki is crazy strong because this slash that goes across the entirety of the tunnel that they're in right now, it just gets sliced apart. Like concrete walls are getting sliced through as if they're paper mache from Uzuki's strength right now.
Stay back.
It's a whip sword. He's got a whip sword. I didn't know he liked maining Ivy in Soul Calibur.
What's with that weapon?
And he immediately goes and tries to slash at Rion again. And he's stopped by Nagumo and Sakamoto, who's holding Kendaka. And it looks like Nagumo got hit in his fingers a little bit because his fingers are bleeding a little. Mind you, this is the same weapon that is slicing apart concrete, and Nagumo only has a little bit of blood across his fingers from blocking that. These people are insane. They are all insane. They are crazy strong. They're all crazy strong. Now I need to make a Dark Brotherhood character for Skyrim. I need to make one. I need to make one now. I need to make an assassin character now. I need to. Or one in Fallout. But, you know, Skyrim's better.
Sakamoto, Nagumo.
And then Uzuki's standing there, and he's shrouded in the dust, and he's just gone. Kindaka! Kindaka, wake up! And this is Sakamoto. And then he realizes that he's gone. What happened, Akao?
I saw Uzuki drop the antidote on purpose. Kindaka died retrieving it.
You mean Uzuki killed Kindaka? What for?
Sakamoto, Nagumo, we don't know when this tunnel will cave in. Take Konomi and her mom and Kindaka and get out of here.
What about you?
I'll go after Uzuki. I'm the fastest out of all of us.
He's tougher than he lets on. Don't let your guard down, Akao.
Right.
And Nagumo gives her a gun.
Oh, hey, Sakamoto.
Yeah?
Hang on to these. Don't smoke 'em, jerk face.
Roger. And then Rion goes in one direction, Sakamoto goes in another, and we're done with the flash. Then we're done, and that's when Sakamoto goes, that was the last time I spoke with Akao. That was the last time he saw her. When she went after Uzuki, Slur, that was the last time they saw each other. And then we cut to a cityscape. 3 days after Akao and Uzuki disappeared. And we have someone, I guess we're in a hospital. Yeah, I guess we're in a hospital right now. And we get like a heart monitor. And we get Yotsumura. And Yotsumura is standing over Kindaka. So is he actually still alive? It's just that the poison wreaks so much havoc on his body that he's in critical condition. So he's not... So is he? Wait, what? I thought he was dead. But Yotsumura is standing over Kindaka in the hospital. Then Nagumo and Sakamoto walk into his room.
So, you're Nagumo and Sakamoto. Since Kindaka isn't here to say it himself, thanks for taking care of that bodyguard mission.
You still haven't found Uzuki?
Nope.
What? That's it? You're just gonna let the guy who killed the leader of the JAA Special Forces run free? And Nagumo has a very stern look on his face. I know most of the time his facial expressions look blank, but here, you kind of notice it here in this panel.
We don't have any conclusive evidence that Kei Uzuki killed Kindaka. His tests only indicated that his body was full of poison. There were no external wounds.
Uzuki dropped the antidote on purpose. My friend said so.
Your friend whose whereabouts are unknown. You expect us to trust that?
Are you suggesting Akao was in on it? And when Sakamoto goes to punch Yotsumura, Hio, current member of the Order in the present day, comes in and grabs Sakamoto's arm before he can touch Yotsumura.
Easy, Sakamoto. We're in a hospital. Hio?
Hey, it's Hio. Where'd you come from, bro? Long time no see.
Don't bro me. I'm your senpai. Yotsumura, you serious about these guys?
And both of them are confused by what Hio is saying. And then a set of clothes, like a set of dress clothes, like a John Wick suit. Let's just call it a John Wick suit. A suit from the Continental. A business suit is just dropped onto Kindaka's bed.
If you go after Uzuki, you'll find your friend. You want to find someone? Find them yourselves, and get the evidence as well.
And then Nagumo chimes in. You want us to join the Order? What reason do you have to trust us? And then Yotsumura is silent until we get a flashback of Kindaka apparently talking to Yotsumura about them. I found some promising talent. These 3 will be future leaders of the assassin world.
I don't trust you, but the assassin world is short-handed these days. We'll take who we can get.
And Sakamoto and Nagumo are just left standing there. And Hio is just thinking,
for real?
A little more than a year after we joined the order. And this is Sakamoto, and he's getting a phone call. What's up, Nagumo? I know Uzuki's whereabouts. A friend in the intel department contacted me. He even sent a map. You're closest. I'll go right away. Sakamoto, don't kill him before you find out where Akao is. And Sakamoto immediately starts speeding towards this location where Uzuki is supposed to be. And then we get someone going, long time no see, Sakamoto. As he enters into this abandoned building. And we have Rion laying on the ground with a jacket over her. And Uzuki standing past her. And her eyes are closed. And she's got a little blood from the mouth. And Sakamoto's eyes go blank as he goes, Akao. She's dead, Sakamoto. I killed her. To be continued. This was the moment. Ah! The first time they find Uzuki a year after joining the order, and we see Sakamoto walking into this abandoned factory-looking place, overgrown with vegetation. That's how long it's been there. And we just have the body of Akao, of Rion, just right there. With Uzuki saying that he killed her. That's the end of chapter 119. Onwards to 120. Moving quick. I'm getting there. And we get a days 120. We have Rion in a flashback image here. And it's in color, showing her blue hair, which is something that Akido would later have as well.
What are you gonna do after graduation? Huh, no clue. I knew it. Fine. The three of us will start an assassin business. I'll own 50%. Nagumo and Sakamoto, you each get 25%. What? You got a problem with that? You know you're not CEO material. More like...
Days 120. Final. And we get a big double spread panel title page here with a color image of Rion Akao. You know, fair skin, light blue hair. Might as well call it cyan. Kitty! Yo! What's going on? It's good to see you. We are on days 120 of Sakamoto Days. Link in the description of the chapter I started with for this session. Hopefully your day has been well today. Mine has been great. Took a nice, relaxing Old Spice shower, and I feel clean. It's good, because a man must be clean at all times. No excuse. But it feels good to be nice, clean, fresh clothes. And reading to people, it's a nice feeling. But it's good to see you. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully your day has been great so far. But we have Rion here in this color page here. Days 120, final. I killed Rion Akao. And this is Uzuki standing in front of Sakamoto. Why did you kill Akao? Even if I told you, it wouldn't change anything. Sakamoto is silent. I was enslaved by the JAA this entire time. None of you could ever understand that pain, that torment, that loneliness. It's like being eternally submerged in dark water. But today, I'm finally free. That's all I have to say. So, ready to kill each other? I have a friend to mourn, so let's get this over with. And Sakamoto and Uzuki both start clashing with each other. Uzuki with his, I'm doing great, it's a wonderful day. Yes, it is! But they both immediately start clashing with each other. Uzuki with his chain, I wouldn't even call it a chain sword. It might as well be like a chain whip. And Sakamoto using a knife. And it shows their faces. Sakamoto on the right side, Uzuki on the left. And they continue to clash with each other. If this ever gets animated, I feel like this fight is going to be legendary to witness. If the anime ever makes it this far, I'm just saying. But Sakamoto grabs Uzuki and throws him far into the distance. Uzuki, still airborne, uses his chain whip to latch onto Sakamoto's leg and then proceeds to slam Sakamoto into a support beam of this abandoned building. Sakamoto, barely fazed by it, gets up only to see the tip of this chain whip sail towards his face, which he manages to deflect away with a knife in his left hand, and he immediately starts opening fire on Uzuki with a gun in the other. Uzuki whips his sword, flicks his chain sword in a way where it causes it to catch and deflect the bullets just from the whip bump, if you will. And then with that same motion, the whip starts to loop around Sakamoto, and Uzuki yanks Sakamoto towards him. But before Uzuki, well, not even necessarily from the way this panel looks, not even necessarily whip Sakamoto towards him, he does it in a way in an attempt to constrict and maybe hopefully slice through Sakamoto, but Sakamoto just slips straight through his jacket, and they both just stare each other down. And while his jacket is still looped inside the whip, he grabs it and then dashes right past Uzuki, which causes the whip to go around Uzuki, and then Sakamoto yanks it and slams Uzuki through a support beam. Quid pro quo, brother, quid pro quo. And he sends Uzuki flying in another direction. And then Sakamoto just casually... Oh, I know right where you're at. I was lost for a minute. Yeah. Sakamoto then just loosens his tie. There's something so professional about, being an assassin and you're dressed in a suit. Not like jeans or heavy-duty combat armor. Just being in a suit, and you also double as an assassin as well. There's something incredibly formal about it. I need to get me a better suit jacket. I know I got the one that has the embroidered designs on it, but I need to get one that is just straight black. Because I got a white shirt and I got a black tie. So I could fit the moniker if I wanted to. But I need to get me a different suit jacket. But he loosens his tie, and then Uzuki continues to go after Sakamoto, but Sakamoto just ignores him and proceeds to not only break his chain sword, but also slash through Uzuki multiple times. Across the shoulders, across the other shoulder, and then gets him... and then slams him onto the ground with a gun pointed at his face. John Wick, yes, it's one of my favorite action series. All of the movies, I love all of them. But he gets Uzuki on the ground, bleeding everywhere with a gun to his face. And Uzuki is just looking.
Not in the head, if you don't mind. I'd like to watch the sky as I go.
Sure.
I'm tired.
Yeah. And Sakamoto is... Wow, he really is John, because John responds the same way with single-word sentences.
You upset, John?
Yeah. And you just single-word sentences.
I'm tired.
Yeah. And Sakamoto's just standing there over Uzuki. And then it cuts to Uzuki in the present day, who we'll refer to as Slur now, since we're out of the flashback. And then we get Kashima.
Master Slur, you'll catch a cold. We should go inside. What's the matter?
I was just remembering something embarrassing from a long time ago.
Huh?
Assassins should think about what they want their last words to be. Because you never know when you're gonna go. And as he's saying this, we get a final image of Rion Akao, and then the scene fades to black. And that's the end of chapter 120. Whew. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. So you can either hand over your son, or die screaming alongside him! I love John Wick. Whenever I play games that allows me to use a pistol and stuff, and I can dress my person in a suit, yes, I love it. That's the end of chapter 120. Onwards to days 121, Bizarre Data. And we're back in the present with Sakamoto speaking to Shin. I thought I had killed Uzuki. But 8 years later, he shows up again. Oh, that line hits hard every time. If you get someone called the modern day boogeyman, oh, not even the boogeyman, but the man who's sent to kill the boogeyman. If you get him screaming at you that, like, either you do this or I'm going to kill you, and you think you're going to last, every single person that has tried to kill John has died. Except for one. Except for one. But everyone who has stood against John has died. He has killed hundreds, if not thousands. You, the man whose name is spoken, and you think you stand a chance? When they tell you of his exploits, everyone, even if they're a high-ranking assassin, goes like, oh, John did this. John, he was an associate of ours. He did this. I saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. Oh. And everyone is just talking about, and then they sound like every story you heard about John, if nothing else, has been watered down, meaning that everything that John has done is significantly more ridiculous. So, I just love the John Wick series. That's me, though. Not everyone thinks it's good because they just think it's, like, over the top, and rightfully so, but that's just me. Sorry, moving on. Days 121, bizarre data. I thought I had killed Uzuki, but 8 years later, he shows up again. I wish you could have met Akao while she was alive.
How come?
Well, I think it'd be entertaining.
You think like a bully! So, you have another reason to go after Uzuki. To avenge...
Random spam calls. Sorry, random scam calls chiming in.
So, you have another reason to go after Uzuki. To avenge an old friend.
No, it was painful when Akao died, but I've come to terms with it. If you choose to live in the assassin world, you have to be prepared to die at any time. It's the same for me and Nagumo. But Akira's another matter. She could still come back. Right now, Akira's crazy for revenge. If we don't act quickly, it'll be too late.
I feel the same way. I want to save Akira. I remember what
Akao said to me before she died. I
hope you can keep finding more people to care about.
I care about a lot of people now. I don't want to lose any more of them. And he's specifically referring to Satoru, all the people he's cared about. Satoru Sensei, Heisuke, Lu, Hana, Aoi, and of course Rion. If I can protect someone, I'm going to do it. Shin, I want your help with this.
Of course.
And then we cut to Aoi.
Good morning. Did you two work things out?
And it just shows Sakamoto and Shin have been just eating food the entire time.
Huh?
Oh.
Hey, what's going on here? You haven't cleaned up at all!
We got hungry while we were talking.
But the store's open soon!
Crap! I'll wake up Heisuke and Lou and get them to help.
Then we cut to another location, and we get Nagumo. And is this a hospital? I think this is a hospital. And he enters into a room and goes, hey, we can't have you just hanging out around here. And it's Yotsumura! Wait a minute, wait! Yo! Kendaka is still in that same room! Yo! He's in a room with Kendaka! Remember our deal? You're supposed to be dead, Mr. Yotsumura. It's been 8 years.
It's been 8 years. I remember inviting you kids to join the order here. People age, even while in a coma.
Wow, so Kendaka's in a coma. He's been in a coma this whole time. Mr. Yotsumura, The doctors say there's no chance of Kendaka recovering. They're just barely able to keep him alive with a respirator. It's hard to know how long he'll last.
I can't imagine the JAA keeping a useless member alive for 8 years. You must have negotiated with the JAA to extend his life.
Of course. Kendaka's an important witness to Uzuki's disappearance. We can't have him dying on us. And Yotsumoto just looks at him. More importantly, your mission. Have you learned anything about Ryo Nakao's death?
Unfortunately, at this point in time, I don't have anything new on that.
And then Nagumo's silent.
But I did a deep dive investigation and found out Ryo Nakao did something after she disappeared.
What kind of investigation?
As you know, each JAA assassin is assigned an ID number. It's used for official records, when you do missions, when you die, stuff like that. Obviously, you'd have to be an idiot to share your number with anyone.
Don't tell me you accessed the JAA database. How did you?
I have connections as the JAA's former number 2. When I investigated Akao's records, I came across something strange. For 8 years, there was no trace of her, and then just a few months ago, there was a record of her accessing the JAA site.
Sorry? How? How? What? And then Yotsumura. All right, I feel happy because family got me. They got me. But can we get back to this real quick?
For 8 years, there was no trace of her, and then, just a few months ago, there was a record of her accessing the JAA site.
How? How?
What?
Wait, what? Wait, what does that say? I'm looking at the number. What? Hold on. What does that say? Ryo Nakao put a for Taro. No. What? And Yotsumura hands Nagumo something.
Ryo Nakao issued the billion-yen bounty on Sakamoto's head.
Oh, what? How? Ain't no way. 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 There is no way. There is no way. Slur had to have something to do with this.
Slur didn't put up the bounty? It was Akao?
But that's ridiculous. Obviously, Slur faked it to cover his footprints. Besides, we saw Akao's corpse. And that's when Nagumo realizes. I always thought it was strange that someone would go to the trouble of putting a billion-yen bounty on a retired assassin. The bounties on Higuchi
The bounties on Higuchi and Kobayashi are 400 million and 600 million yen. So I guess you're worth $1 billion.
Akao is alive?
She's alive! Ah! She's alive! Ain't no way! She's alive! I need my glasses! I need my glasses! Rion Akao is alive! And it shows the back of Rion, and then it shows a volleyball. It shows a volleyball. And then it shows Mafuyu, you know, the brother of Natsuki, kicking the volleyball, and Gaku just casually catches it. Take that! No fear. How many times have you blocked me? I realize that having his voice this low, it's not good for Mafuyu, so I'm gonna have it up here. No fear. How many times have you blocked me? And Mafuyu is starting to cry because he keeps losing to Gaku.
Oh, great. He's crying.
That's not very mature of you, Gaku. I want to turn kicking. It's about time.
I'm going to bed.
I want to kick.
I'm sick of goalkeeping. I'll play with you, Toramaru.
No thanks, dear face.
Huh?
And then there's a creak sound, and Uzuki's reading, and then he looks over up to the side, and someone goes,
What's with this place? It's so dirty.
and this person steps on the volleyball and then starts to kick it up. And then Gaku looks back and goes,
Huh?
and the volleyball gets kicked at Gaku, and he gets cratered into the wall by this person. Yo, long time no see.
Kuma know me? Haruma?
And it's these two individuals. This lady who's, you know, got like a... I don't know how to describe the pants that she's wearing, if you can even call it pants, that kind of look like pants from Cyberpunk 2077, where they kind of cut off near the midsection a little bit, and they're exposing what's underneath the pants. And she has like this... She looks like she belongs in Cyberpunk 2077 with these clothes. And she has like sort of long hair, little like shoulder length hair, with moon crescent shaped earrings in her ear. And Haruma is just a regular looking dude that has like a, what is that? I'm trying to make out what this symbol looks like. Yeah, that looks like a swirl just tattooed or painted on the front of his face. Long time no see. Koma know me? Haruma?
Huh? Gaku, you twerp. That's Ms. Komanomi to you.
And both Slur and Gaku don't say anything.
Wow, she got Gaku'd.
And this is Kashima going,
Wow, she got Gaku to shut up.
Hey, Haruma, want to get a little exercise after this?
No thanks. I'm tired from the long trip. Play with Komanomi.
I'm game, Gaku.
I'll pass. Okay, what's our next move?
You know what? He needs an accent.
I'm tired from the long trip. Play with Komanomi.
I'm game, Gaku.
I'll pass. Okay, what's our next move? We're destroying the Order. I want your help with this. Then let's get moving. Strike while the iron's hot.
And we have Komanomi, and Haruma. And they're just there now. We got new people. And that's the end of chapter 121. Onwards to chapter 122. Days 122, bad feeling. And Haruma continues.
Then let's get moving. Strike while the iron's hot.
And Slur and Gaku are silent. Then we get Kashima.
Slur, who are these people? That's right. I should introduce you properly. This is Haruma and Komanomi. They were at the Alkamar orphanage with me and Gaku.
And I'm trying to figure out who's saying what.
Where are Gozu and Tenkyu?
They'll be joining us later. From the Alkamar orphanage. And there are two more?
So, who are you?
Me? I'm Kashima.
Take off your mask when you introduce yourself.
I'm sorry, but I'll show my real face when I trust you.
And Slur is silent, Haruma is silent, and then Komanomi just glares at him.
No need to be like that, Kashima. Sorry, Gaku, but I have my own rules.
And then Komanomi just lifts her hand up. She just lifts her hand up. Wait, and before Gaku can say anything, Komanomi has already grabbed Kashima, yanked him so hard that the mask flew off of his face. And all of a sudden, Kashima is in front of her. Mind you, she hasn't moved, but Kashima is in her grip and she's holding him up with one hand.
Now I see your face. Nice to meet you, Kashima.
What happened? It was like she drew me to her. It's great you have your own rules, but don't forget that the whole purpose of rules is to protect you from danger.
And Kashima is just left completely shocked by how he's suddenly in the grip of Komanomi, and he doesn't even realize how. This woman's got Shibaku Tensei. She's got the universal pull. She just grabbed him from a distance and she didn't move. How?
Good, we're done with introductions.
Yikes! What did that woman just do? In a split second, Deerface just... What was that? Telekinesis?
No, wait, that was Toromaru saying like,
Yikes! What did that woman just do? In a split second, Deerface just... What was that? Telekinesis?
and then Komanomi just glares at the both of them. And when she glares at Mafuyu and Toromaru, Mafuyu doesn't waste any time taking his mask off, though it shows the panel obscuring the lower half of his face. I'm Mafuyu.
And I'm Toromaru. Good. I see you know how to introduce yourselves. And you took off your mask. Dang, he's a good suck-up.
And it doesn't show Mafuyu's lower face. Then it cuts to Kashima, who's dealing with the fact that he just got manhandled, woman-handled by this new lady, and what? That's scary. It's all like, nah, I ain't taking off my mask until I trust you. Then all of a sudden, you're in the grip of the person, and they yank off, and your mask is already off, and they're just staring you down. No, people are scary. People are scary in this story. Stop it.
I guess with them, our group is a match for the Order. So why do I have this bad feeling in my gut?
Then it cuts to the airport, where we have Aoi, Lu, and Hana seeing off Sakamoto, Shin, and Heisuke.
Take care in Thailand. Don't overeat.
Yep.
You're not coming to Shizuoka with us, Shin?
Let's trade souvenirs when we get back, okay?
Okay.
Lu, please take care of these two.
Leave it to me, and you take care too, boss. Oh, also, boss, Wu-Tang wanted me to give this to you.
Nice. He's a fast worker.
And we got Wu-Tang. Wow, we haven't seen Wu-Tang in a minute. Since he both tried to beat Sakamoto and company in order to win Lu back for the triad. We haven't seen Wu-Tang in so long. It feels like so long since we've seen him.
In other words, you want me to use the info you got at the JCC about an abandoned warehouse to locate Slur's hideout, right? I'm a busy man, you know. Yes, thank you. You seem good at that kind of thing. As quickly as you can, please. I told you I'll only do what I want to do. There aren't enough clues here. Lu baked these cookies.
I'll take those, you scumbag. Give me 3 days. And he just immediately starts eating Lu's home-baked cookies. That was enough of a motivator for him to go find that information. I'll do what I want to do. Lu made cookies. Give me 3 days. I love Wu-Tang. Shin, and then it shows that Shin baked the cookies. Wow, he duped Wu-Tang.
I didn't taste them. I hope they're okay.
And then we have Amane, who's there with Sakamoto and company, because he's going too. Hey, Shin, there's something I've been wondering. How are we supposed to board an airplane?
Huh?
It says weapons can't be taken on the flight. And it shows that everyone has a weapon. With Amane having a 3-section staff, Shin having Seba's glove, Heisuke having his rifle. Oh. No plan, huh? What am I supposed to do without my rifle? Heisuke says so loud in front of everyone in a public civilian airport. What am I supposed to do without my gun? Like that's not going to draw any attention. Be right back. Take as much time as you need, kitty. I'm going to keep reading. What? What am I supposed to do without my rifle?
I didn't think of that. We went empty-handed when we did the JCC test.
Don't worry. That's our gate.
Huh?
And there's a gate. And it has this woman who's just chewing gum, and she scans the bag, and it shows all the weapons that they got in there. An extra pair of glasses, water bottle, a bunch of guns. And then the woman goes,
All right, you're good to go. Next.
and then Shin goes,
That was easy.
It's a special gate for assassin missions. You have to apply in advance. And then we get Heisuke, and then they're on the plane. Holiday Road. But then we get Heisuke, who goes, Yo, what are we doing in Thailand again?
You're asking now? Listen, the point of this trip is to...
1.
1. Locate Slur's hideout and capture Uzuki.
And Amane is just sitting next to everyone reading a book on how to learn Thai. He's learning Thai.
2. Prevent Akira from making contact with Uzuki. 2 things.
If we leave it to the JAA, there's a risk of Akira getting taken out as a collaborator. So it's up to us. And Sakamoto's just sipping on some juice.
Oh, okay, got it. Right, Peasuke?
Boo-boo!
And then both Sakamoto and Shin just look at Heisuke like, okay. You think Heisuke's okay?
He seems... Oh, you think Heisuke's okay?
He seems nervous. It is his first mission in a while, after all. And then it just shows the plane flying overhead. And we have now officially made it to Bangkok, Thailand. And it shows all the hustle and bustling streets, the giant cultural landmarks and everything. I gotta say, outside of America, there are so many countries out there that are just beautiful to behold. From Thailand to China to Japan to Switzerland to Germany. And this goes across all nations outside of the U.S. Because you see one place in the U.S., yeah, you can see it, but then there are just there's entire countries that just have absolute marvels to look at, and it's just like, wow. The world truly is diverse. Sorry for that tangent. Then we get Heisuke.
What? My bag's missing.
Don't freak out. You just need to wait a bit.
Fine, go ahead. I'll catch up.
Sure.
15 minutes later.
One last round, Peasuke.
Boop, boo.
Now what? Without my stuff,
Boo.
Huh? Ah! There it is! My suitcase! That was a close one!
And as soon as Heisuke's suitcase pops up, a hand with many rings on it grabs it, and it's Hio. It's Hio.
You've got some nerve, kid, trying to steal my bag.
Oh! He's huge! Jeez, foreigners are huge, yo! But that's my suitcase. You let go!
So, this is what they mean by a brazen thief. Lay off now or you're in for it.
Sorry, but same here. I don't have time to fight.
And Hio, without batting an eye, just tosses Heisuke behind him. And he lands directly into the wall, leaving an imprint in the wall.
Please, Please give it back. It's very important to me.
Good grief. Does this guy have no pride? Look, it's not yours, is it? It's not yours, is it? Lots of people have the same suitcase at the airport, you moron.
And it shows all of Hio's stuff in there.
You're right. Oh, then where's mine?
It's lost baggage. Give it up.
No.
Ugh. You had something valuable in there, huh?
No. It was cheap, but I can't help a friend in need without it.
And it shows Heisuke tearing up.
What now? He's crying over his friend? Yeesh.
And then Hio starts tapping on his phone.
It's me. Sorry. Stomachache. Yeah, I'll be an hour late. Hey, kid. Stand up.
Huh?
I'll help you find your bag. Let's go.
What? Really?
Yeah, we got 1 hour. Move it.
Thank you. What's your name? What's your name?
Hio.
Great name. I'm Heisuke. Gee, you're good at Japanese, yo, Hio.
Drop dead, twerp. I'm Japanese.
And that's the end of chapter 123. Heisuke is just chilling with a member of the order and he don't even know it. And Hio don't even know he's chilling with someone who's close to Sakamoto. Happenstance is just a running gag in this story, ain't it? But that was the end of chapter 122. Onwards to days 123. One shot.
What? Your bag's still missing? You want us to go on ahead. But you don't even speak English. What do you do? It's okay. I made a friend, yo. I'll catch up with you later. What? What's that? A friend? Wait, Heisuke. Burp, 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 burp.
Then Amane.
Let's go, Shin. We don't have time for this. It's the Dragoon, Heisuke. He'll be fine. I'm worried because it's Heisuke.
And Sakamoto is just eating what is that, a whole melon? No. He's not eating a whole melon. He's drinking out of it. And now he's eating it. He was drinking out of it. And now he's eating the whole thing.
What? My bag is in here?
Yes, that bag already arrived and went out. See? 30 minutes ago.
Yo, that's my suitcase!
Who's that? Recognize him?
No idea.
So it's a thief. Go to the police.
And then Pisuke notices and sees the dude holding Heisuke's bag.
Oh, there! That's him!
After him!
And Hio immediately takes off after the guy. And the guy is looking around, and then it cuts to the city streets, and the guy is on top of a car getting away with Heisuke's stuff.
Stop, you! He's getting away!
He's getting away! Faster!
Okay!
And then Heisuke gets hit by an oncoming tuk-tuk.
What the heck are you doing? Sheesh, this bag's important to you, right? Go get it then!
And he picks up Heisuke and just chucks him towards the guy. My man Hio is kind. He is. Hio, while he has a
Very rough and tough exterior.
he actually does have a heart of gold in certain situations. He didn't have to help out Heisuke, but he did. So there's some room in his heart for compassion when he isn't threatening to manhandle every single person he comes across. He has a compassionate assassin to a degree. I'm not going overboard here.
Sheesh, this bag's important to you, right? Go get it then!
And just chucks Heisuke straight over to the guy, who jumps away from the spot where Heisuke lands on the roof of the car, takes out a knife and goes, "Yikes!"
What's this? You're an assassin? Huh? Then there's no need to hold back!
And he immediately gets a whole set of brass knuckles. He has a whole set of brass knuckles and completely destroys the entire car. Well, not even the car, but just the tuk-tuk that they were on top of. He just crushes it. And Heisuke gets launched off just a little bit, including the man who was driving the tuk-tuk. He gets launched out of the car as well.
Dang, he's strong. Who is this guy?
And the guy who stole Heisuke's suitcase is steadily running across the rooftops in flip-flops. How are y'all moving this fluidly in flip-flops? How are y'all moving this quickly in flip-flops?
The way he moves, he's no small fry. Well, good. Maybe he knows something about slur. Hey kid, stand up. Let's go. Huh?
If he finds out I'm an ex-assassin, will he kill me?
And then that guy who took off with Heisuke's bag goes,
What's with his strength? This is nuts. This isn't what I was told. Better head straight to the spot.
Ah! Yo! Too fast, yo!
Shut up!
Heisuke is the liability without his gun. How you an assassin and you scared of moving fast? Hey, okay, Heisuke. Heisuke is the assassin cinnamon roll. I see it now.
There!
Give me my bag! And it shows Heisuke launching towards the guy, and the guy uses Heisuke as like a little bit of a vaulting obstacle and sends Heisuke flying into a nearby building. And Hio is just done. Hio is just done with Heisuke. Heisuke keeps finding himself in situations where he's getting thrown into, what is that, cabbages? My cabbages! It's actually a container full of melons. He trips over that. It shows Heisuke hiding up a telephone pole with a dog biting on his shirt. Heisuke being bound up by elephant trunks. Then multiple elephant trunks.
Quit messing around. Do you want your bag or not?
I can't help a friend in need without it.
Sheesh. Seems like I was expecting too much from him. Fine. You rest. I'll handle this.
No.
Huh?
It's literally my pride.
I've never gone up against such an incredible sniper in my life.
I have to get it back with my own hands. Look, that guy's covered in coconut. What a loser.
And Hio glares at these two women who are belittling Heisuke. He glares at them, and these women immediately shut up. See? Okay. All right, Hio. You may try to put on this brave face that you're this tough as nails guy who's never compromised and just overall someone you should never mess with. But for the sake of Heisuke's pride, you shut up the people who are making fun of him. I see you, Hio. I like you.
What am I doing anyway? The more I watch this loser, the more irritated I get. So why am I helping him?
And then that's when Hio realizes, and he hears the words of apparently Yotsumura go,
You look the part, but of all the assassins I've seen, you've got the least talent. Who says stuff like that?
Hio, around age 20. We're going back in time.
I've always been clumsy. It takes me more than twice as long as other guys to learn stuff. Well, I'll just have to make up for my lack of talent with effort.
Hio, you're still here? Don't overwork yourself to death.
I'm fine. People with talent could never understand. Working hard isn't painful. What's painful is facing moments of failure. But I trained every day until I bled. All to one day stand side by side with the genius monsters.
And he's referring to people like Miss Osaragi, Takamura, Shishiba, Sakamoto, and Nagumo.
I get it. This guy reminds me of myself back then.
Oh, there he is, Hio!
You can't get to him over there. Forget it, kid.
Hey, wait! And Heisuke doesn't waste any time, and he immediately starts jumping towards the building where the guy who stole his bag is at. And he somehow makes it over because apparently Pisuke is quite strong and allowed Heisuke to get over there and tackle him. Yeah!
Huh?
And they both go skidding in a different direction, but Heisuke's got his bag.
I got it back. Thank you, Pisuke.
Sheesh, you got guts, kid.
Thanks. And then it shows some steel support beams about to fall down on top of this guy who stole his bag.
Little turd.
And they both notice the support beams. The guy who took his bag, and Hio noticed, and Hio goes,
It's too late.
Then all of a sudden, the case pops open. Heisuke pretty much assembles his gun in a split second and fires on each of these support beams, causing the bullet to ricochet between each support beam with enough strength for them all to separate and fall away from this guy. It's not support beams, it's just one of those steel pipes. Remember the ending of Spider-Man 3 where he was using those steel pipes in order to get the symbiote off of Eddie? It's one of those. But he uses his bullets to separate all of these steel pipes from hitting this guy.
A rifle? He's an assassin too. Wait, more importantly, with that one shot, I saw it. How much this Lugerser struggled to be able to make that one shot.
And then Hio starts gripping his hands tightly.
Uh-oh, I fired my gun. If he finds out I'm an ex-assassin.
Hey! It's so obvious, idiot. Hey, Skay. I like you, man.
Really?
And then, all of a sudden, Komano!
Really? Thank you, Hio.
And then all of a sudden, Komanomi lands directly behind Hio and instantly kills the dude that stole Heisuke's bag. She just casually, She lands right behind Hio. And there's silence.
Yeesh, sure took a while to lure you here. Now which one of you's Hio? You know what? Who cares?
Oh, wait, with the way she said use.
Now which one of you's Hio? You know what? Who cares?
Okay, this is gonna be the voice I use for Komanomi.
Now which one of you's Hio? You know what? Who cares?
She crushed this dude. There's nothing left of him. You don't understand. She landed on this guy, and there's nothing remaining except a blood splatter and his shades underneath her. There's nothing left. No limbs. No remains. Just blood and the shades, and that's it. His whole body just got straight up evaporated by her. But Uzuki and his crew are already moving on the order. She just landed behind him.
Now which one of you's Hio? You know what? Who cares?
To be continued. Onwards to the last chapter for today. The last chapter for today. Days 124. Why do I keep calling her Komanomi? It's Kumanomi. Kumanomi. Why do I call her Komanomi? Kumanomi. Days 124, Kumanomi.
Now, which one of you's in the order? Which ones of you are in the order?
And she's just looking both at Heisuke and Hio.
Who's that?
Don't move, Heisuke. So you're one of X's assassins.
And she starts walking towards Kumanomi. Kumanomi just starts walking towards Hio.
Got it. That one.
And Hio kind of jolts because he pretty much just confirmed the question that she asked. And Heisuke immediately raises his rifle, but it immediately gets embedded in the ground because Kumanomi just steps directly on top of his rifle in an instant. And then she just swipes her hand past Hio, and all of a sudden, Hio's ear that has like a whole bunch of earrings in it suddenly starts to rip straight off of his face. she just swipes her hand to the side and it just rips it. I think I know what her ability is, or what her capabilities are. I'm getting an assumption just from what I realized from Kashima and what I realized from this instance. She just waves her hand past Hio, and his ear that has all of those earrings in it just rips off of his face. And he kind of staggers a little bit. Hio!
But she didn't touch me.
And Hio's ears just steadily bleeding.
You're the one who took Gaku's ear, aren't you? He's always been like that, refuses to tell even when someone bullies him. What a handful.
And she just crushes Hio's ear in her hand.
Gaku? Who's that? Never heard of him.
Well then, who picked on Gaku? Bring them here.
Sorry, but I'm not sure. There are too many people who could have done it.
And he just slams his fists together and prepares to fight Kumanomi. The person she should be looking for is Takamura, because Takamura is the one who not only took off sliced Gaku's ear, but also sliced off his entire arm as well. Though I am seriously scared of what Takamura is going to do when he starts fighting people, if I ever get to see that. If we ever get to see that in the series, but a lot of chapters.
Sorry, but I'm not sure. There are too many people who could have done it.
And he dashes, and he goes straight towards Kumanomi, and he punches where she was, and winds up leaving a hole through all of the floors of this building that's in the middle of construction. Oh, this is nuts, Pisuke! And then he gets grabbed by his shirt by Hio.
Hey, Ske, you and Pisuke get out of here. I'm her target.
Target?
That thief's job was to lure me here.
You mean they mixed up our bags?
Yeah, idiots like that don't last long in the battlefield. Sorry I got you involved. I'll take it from here.
Are you okay, Hio? You're here!
Also, I don't really get it, but she's freaky. That blow.
And then he looks down and sees that Kumanomi is just perfectly fine, with not a single scratch on her.
That blow didn't faze her? What kind of trick is this?
I can't believe you losers got Mr. Uda. You'll pay.
Then we cut back to the warehouse where Kashima is there with Gaku. Who on earth is that Kumanomi person? She freak you out, Mr. Kashima?
No! When we clashed just now, I smelled danger.
That's because she hasn't accepted you as a friend yet.
A friend?
Don't get the wrong idea, Kashima. I know she comes off as harsh, but Kumanomi is intensely caring. She's just always had an extreme personality. In her world, there are only two kinds of people, friends and enemies. She's merciless toward anyone who hurts her friends.
So, I'm an enemy?
You should definitely be careful, Mr. Kashima. She's the worst possible opponent for that body of yours. And then it shows electricity crackling from Kumanomi, what looks to be Kumanomi's her gloves. I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! And as this energy starts moving around her hands, a whole bunch of metallic objects start moving around her hand as well. I knew it! And it starts moving. I knew it! Okay, so it started to click for me what her specialty was. When she just grazed her hand past Hio's ear, but then his ear, which has metallic earring studs and rings in it, got ripped off. Then I realized, wait, what if her ability has to deal with magnetism? Because that would explain why she was able to grab Kashima's body, which is inherently very metallic due to all the cybernetic enhancements that he has within his own body. So that explains why she was able to do what she did without moving. She literally is a living magnet, or at least her gloves allow her to manipulate magnetism to a certain degree, because she's just literally ripping out all sorts of things from this construction site with this glove that she has. And even the nails that have been embedded in the floor even support beams that have been nailed into the floor, they are all subject to her electromagnetism.
An electromagnet?
What the?
And then, Kuma just straight up throws her hand forward, and everything that she was floating with electromagnetism gets thrown towards Hio and Heisuke. And they both gotta run because it's a lot of objects.
She can switch it on and off super fast? What a pain.
And as he's thinking this, Kumanomi is directly above him with multiple of those same steel pipes that Heisuke shot at that one assassin to save him. Didn't do him much good in the end. And she's just up above him. And then Hio is preparing to punch in her direction until she starts moving her hands again. And then more metallic pipes come in, and it shows them all hitting Hio directly in the back. It is a ton of these pipes. They just form like a spire. If anyone's ever watched me fight Erlong in Black Myth Wukong, and he has that ability where he can summon all these different massive torrent of swords, it's basically like that. And they all hit Hio directly in the back. But it doesn't do anything as he gets sent flying towards a bus and flies directly into it and skids in the middle of the aisle until he notices suddenly that two pieces of metal immediately slam him directly into the chest. And it's Kumanomi who's on this truck, who's drawing all of this magnetism towards the roof, binding Hio to the roof of the truck. Then she looks at an oncoming street sign, oncoming highway sign, like one of those gigantic signs. There's a specific name for that. I'm gonna look it up. I look up a lot of things because of the series. She sees this gigantic highway sign, and she moves her hand forward, and she drags the entire roof of the bus and rips it off. Because she sees the sign, and she magnetizes herself to the sign while also magnetizing the roof and Hio, and she rips Hio and the roof of the bus away before seeing an oncoming car and throwing him into said car. You know how that agent jumped off of that police car during the highway chase in The Matrix Reloaded? And he just slammed onto the car next to him and it just cratered it completely? Yeah, she slammed Hio directly into this car enough to basically total it.
Interesting.
So, you enjoy pain, huh?
To be continued, and that is the end for today's reading of Sakamoto Days. Oh yeah, what did you think about the flashback arc? Oh, I loved it. To give you, Medela, I love the flashback arc. I thought I heard something just now. But I loved the flashback arc. Seeing Sakamoto and Nagumo and Rion talk to each other. And I'm going to be honest with you. I was led to believe this whole time that we were going to see, like, oh, Uzuki killed Rion Akao. We got to see how that happened. We got to see how Sakamoto and Uzuki left each other. And now we have Yotsumura, who's been doing some investigating, and he's come to the realization that Nagumo has come to the realization that Rion may actually be alive. Because the bounty that's on Sakamoto is exactly the same amount that Rion said that Sakamoto would be worth during the flashback. Which is something Uzuki should not be really privy to. Or at least have the mindset of, using that as a reference. So there's the thought of Rion Akao may be alive right now, which just throws so many things. It's going to throw so many things out of whack. But as far as the flashback goes, seeing how they all interacted with each other, just how monstrously strong they were in their younger ages, even though I'm pretty sure they're pretty much this, if not stronger now. That is insane, just how strong they were back then. Sakamoto literally breaking through solid concrete in a tunnel to drag a person underground, using fishing poles to Still tons of mysteries. I know! I can't wait to read the rest of these chapters until I fully catch up. Then Sakamoto Days, as I said, will move to Sundays where I will react to it chapter by chapter whenever we get them. So I'm looking forward to that. But there's so many mysteries about Sakamoto Days that I'm learning, and I have to say thank you. Thank you. Reading this series is immensely enjoyable. And I love doing these live readings for all of you because I like to, one, flex my voice because it's what I get paid to do, but also because I just love reading for you guys. This is how we connect. Even if you're just only here for Sakamoto Days and nothing else that I do, I'm glad that I get to share this moment with all of you. But this is the end of Volume 14. We will move on to Volume 15 next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And we'll see where the story goes from here as we have another member of the Order fight. We saw a fight with Shishiba. We saw a fight with Osaragi. We really didn't see too much of a fight between Takamura because it was basically, Gaku being on the defensive when he was fighting Takamura at the JAA headquarters, one of the branch buildings. But now we get Hio fighting. Literally a person who's capable of magnetizing all of the piercings he has all over his body. So I hope he kind of rethinks this going forward when it comes to, body piercings and such. But we'll see. We'll see what happens next week on Monday when we move on to Chapter 15. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for the amount of time you spent with me. I know I tend to go on rants and say some extra stuff that doesn't correlate to the chapter sometimes, but I'm just thankful you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I did here today, and look forward to the next thing that I do. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm thinking to myself, should I change my outro? Because I've been saying this same thing for a while. I'll work on it. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.